Hello, guys, and thank you for being here once again on another episode of Fyxshion Reydiou. Today, we're going to be talking about another anime film that is named Your Name. So, Shinja, can you tell us a little bit about Your Name?
Yeah, so Your Name, the plot of it is we got two young characters, right? Both around the age of 16, high school students. And one day, all of a sudden, they find themselves trapped in each other's bodies.
Yeah.
Like, there's this guy who's now a girl, and this girl who's now a guy. And uh, there's the usual shenanigans of like, why do I have boobs and why do I have a dick? you know, it's very confusing for both of them. The extra added twist to it all is that when they wake up, they don't remember what happened,
Yeah.
and the only way they know how to like communicate to each other what they did in each other's bodies or like what happened in each other's lives or whatever is by leaving notes on their phones to each other, telling them like, "Oh, what's happened." Um, but yeah, the next morning after they wake up and they're back in their own bodies, they don't remember anything. It's complete strangers, like nothing happened. But then they switch bodies, and then they immediately remember, and they have to like, kind of try to pretend like, "Yep, this is normal. I've always been here like this." um, and like through all these odd circumstances, they start to get to know each other's lives better. They start to get to know each other's personalities better, and there's a bit of a romance that kind of develops
Yeah.
with like this person that they kind of never actually met in person. you know
Indeed.
it's almost like a long distance relationship
A
through
very
space and
exactly
time.
space and time because it was 3 years back. Like
Hashtag spoilers.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big twist of the movie. It's
Yes.
like it's not only like two people from just separate like locations, but two people from separate times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. Once we watch the film, because at first you don't know what's going on. You just see these two switch over. Like the first 20 minutes is like this switch over between the bodies and all that. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
what
like
is
kind of a
going
super
on?
cut.
Yeah.
Like, um, it's they really like they speed up the love story portion like a bit, because it almost feels like they're just living life. But I mean, I guess that's what makes it even so pure is that they kind of just they became friends, and then after that they were like, I really like this person actually, you know. This person is like, I trust this person was my body.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to like phrase it or look at it. Um, but yeah, it was just an interesting super cut at the beginning of like 20 minutes of like
Yeah.
it's like here's this person, here's that person, and then you kind of have to try to guess like who's in whose body by like little cues. Like, okay, he's fondling or she's fondling her boobs. It's the guy,
Right.
or like they're acting a little crazy at school. It's the girl. So
Yeah, it has that kind of like even the friends that they were close to these characters, they were at some point they just like leave it as it is.
yeah, they stop caring because like there's the stuff like there's little things like in Japan, like there's a specific the specific pronoun that you use to refer to yourself. Like in America, in English, all you say is I to refer to you. It doesn't matter what gender you are.
Right.
But in Japan, like boku is only used by guys.
Guys,
Girls
exactly.
don't use boku.
Yeah.
So you hear a girl all of a sudden saying boku, and it's like, what? Like, I understood what you said, but like, you're not a guy. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. It's that kind of weird. I mean, even the dialogue was pretty good. It's just this film as a whole. Wow, it's amazing how this story is so different from other type of anime films. Um, of course, the cinematic is just beautiful. I like the landscapes. There's a lot of nature here. There's a lot of scenic.
Well, one of the cool things is like it's based on real locations in Japan.
Yes.
And I think there was like side by side comparisons some people have done was like, oh, this is that area in Your Name in actually Japan. But what I love is that they always like art in general, you always make the beautiful things stand out more. You know, you highlight them even more. So like all the stuff that's like in the evening, the sunsets, everything in the sky, the stars, everything's even more like clear and detailed. You know.
Yeah.
So very beautiful anime.
Yes.
We talked about whatchamacallit, A Silent Voice last time.
Yes.
If you like the art in that, it's very similar.
Different directors, like, right? Or
no, they're different directors, different studios. But the art style is somewhat, at least in the backgrounds and stuff. You know, they're very similar. And you can definitely expect like movie grade quality art in this.
Indeed. It's you can appreciate, even though it's animated, as these characters, because not just only these characters. That I mean, the girl character actually had a grandma, right, and a sister, if I'm not mistaken, and also a friend. Really remember, but I saw it last summer. So I mean this summer. So it's so those as the girl one, I was like, I got more interested in the part of where, you know, the girl side of the story.
Well, because like, go ahead.
It's because that kind of feeling that you want this. I just don't want to. Oh, let's go ahead and spoil anything.
We already gave the big spoiler away.
Yeah, so whatever. Okay, so basically, the girl character is actually dead.
Yes, fine. Because 3 years of difference, and like, so something like happened. Like the town that she lived in was destroyed.
Yeah.
Was it by a meteor?
It was a comet, then it turned out to be a meteor, and then everything blew up. So,
just that town specifically. But her story is like it gets more interesting because like one is like culturally rich in a way because like her family is a family of priests, and so they work at a temple. They have this interesting ritual where like she makes alcohol with her spit and rice, and she like ferments it. So like that's like interesting. Like I didn't know that was a thing, but that is actually true. Yes, if you take some rice and mix it with your saliva, you can make fermented alcohol. It's quite potent, apparently. It's kind of disgusting to think of, but yeah. And there's like some other things that happen, like dances and whatnot, that like it's like, oh wow, this is actually like somewhat culturally enriching.
Yes.
But it's all important to the plot as well.
Totally.
But the guy, he's just a dude. He's a high school student, really. It's like there's not too much special about him other than, you know, his personality, of course, and like him wanting to like not give up on rescuing this girl. But yeah, it's just a dude.
So he gets interested in the fact that she is not from his own town. It's from another time. It's very far away, and then he just the journey is just like looking for this girl.
Yeah.
Wow, now that I think of it, like, wow, this is there's a time that I'll think that fantasy and reality can be mixed. And me, for time traveling, it's something that is almost impossible even today.
Yeah.
But I mean, I there's something in me that it's actually possible, but we all know the rules.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's probably never ever gonna happen. Uh,
exactly.
but yeah, no, like time travel, like in this context where it's so romantic, it's like, it's pretty great. Because another very obvious theme in the movie, and a very clear theme, is the red thread of fate.
Yeah.
Which, if no one is familiar with that, basically in Japan there's this mythology around love, where you have a soulmate and you're tied to that soulmate by a red thread of fate. And so it goes that sometimes that thread like gets tangled up with other people's threads, so like you might find the wrong person or whatever throughout your life or whatever, but in the end you will find the one person you're destined to be with.
Yeah.
Because you're connected to them.
Indeed.
So yeah, in this movie, that red thread of fate becomes a thing. Like it transcends space and time, and so that's why like he's able to, like, after he finds out that she died, he stops like being able to like switch bodies with her.
Yeah.
And so he knows something's wrong. So like through some miraculous events, he's able to actually again connect with her and switch bodies.
Right.
Or maybe he just connected with her. I don't know if they switched bodies, but
I think, right, like almost at the end he just like connected with her, like in the mountain
yeah
part. Yeah.
He did a ritual thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yep, I know, I can speak to you. But anyway, it's like, yeah, there's someone for you somewhere in space and time. So yeah, it's like, just think about it. Like, maybe you're like, if you're single out there, your wife is just, she was just born too early or too late. I don't know.
Yeah, and you just like turn to look at 3 years back, and yeah, that is supposed to be your wife.
Yeah. Or 50 years back. Break all the rules of the world. Just travel back in time 50 years, be your own grandpa. Pull a well, this might be a spoiler, but it's like pull a Captain America.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whatever. Everyone just saw it.
It's been long enough. The movie's been out twice.
We don't know what he did there. Anyways.
Anyway.
So yeah, this film is not like your typical, like we said in the previous episode of Fyxshion Reydiou. It's not action. It's just a love story, and with cool ass animation, because the animation and the acting as well is top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you saw it in English or
No, I only saw
Japanese?
it in Japanese.
Me too,
yeah.
me too, in Japanese, yeah.
Yeah,
Voice acting in
I've
Japanese.
heard...
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I can usually always trust the Japanese dubs, or the raw,
of course,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are some really good English dubs out there.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to know what other people think of it, like the English dub. But yeah, I feel like some things, like a movie like this, like I feel like some things might get lost in translation.
Totally, yeah.
So,
I mean,
but I don't know. Maybe it's still good.
Indeed, it's just this film is very Japanese. It has a lot of Japanese culture. It's based in Japan. It's mythology from Japan also. It's something that is very, very Japanese. So if you're not, like, because I know that a lot of people just don't like this kind of mythologies, these fantasies and all these stuff. Well, just give this movie a chance, because if you like romance, at least, I mean, give it a chance. Even though it's fictional, it's not real, but it almost feels real. Once you see the film, it actually feels like, okay, they actually connecting with each other. They're trying to fix what happened back then, and try to save the people because she was not the only one that died.
No, they changed time and the timeline and everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting. It's very good. It's wow. Well, once I think of it, it's like, I've seen a lot of time travel films and going back in time films, and like Back to the Future. This one's different. It's not like the guy goes back into the past. This is actually in his own timeline. He connects with this girl. Of course, at the beginning it's this switch in bodies, but then it progresses to actual connection, just like we said. And it almost feels like they're actually talking at the same time, which they actually do at some point in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. It's some type of time travel with nature, because it's very natural how they do it in this film. It's not like time machines or anything. It's just a ritual, some mythology.
Like, they don't break any rules or anything. It's like, it's more spiritual than science.
Yes. That's the word.
So and then the love story is very like genuine, and relatable. Like, it's not like super hyped up. It's not like your Cinderella love story. It's not like, oh, love at first sight, and no, it's like
tough.
No,
love.
Literally,
it's tough.
Two strangers. Who basically hated each other at first. Like, not hated, but they were annoyed. They totally were kind of like messing with each other's lives at first. But then, like, they became really good friends, and like it was actually like, wow, this is relatable. Like, this is such a like sincere like love story. It's really nice.
It doesn't fall in that cliche Disney type of love, falling in love thing.
And it's not super dramatic. Like, it's not like a Naruto love story or Bleach or like any other anime that has like some love in it. It's
stuck just like in the friend zone.
There's like I don't know what to do. Should I confess to him and blah blah blah? And it's like, nope.
No,
like
they went straightforward.
It's like they realize, like, I freaking like you, and like they just straight up say it.
Yes. I mean, this also teaches a lot of courage and all. If you like someone, even though if it's not from your timeline. You have to have the balls to say, I like you. I like you.
Yes, Suki da yo.
And this movie teaches a lot, even though it has this mythology in it, which I love. There's nothing wrong with it. I do respect it, and how they actually portray it in this film is just precious. It's like, I have not seen it before. That's the thing. It's different, and it's like a Japanese did this. Not Hollywood.
No.
Japanese.
Dude, that's controversial in a way, because it's like this movie. I don't know if I talked to you about this, but like, this movie like went up against Boss Baby. In like the
Academy,
and that was like a spit in the face, because it's like, they're both animation,
Who
But
won? Let me look it up. Who actually won that Oscar? Damn it! Because I know a lot of people were very pissed. Like,
so the anime community, like, because like the anime community, like you and I see like anime movies, like we treat it like every other movie.
yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's a form of art, and and so like, and we're looking at the genre where like Your Name is like a love story. It's got really artistic looking shots and stuff. It's not trying to push the boundaries in like technology or anything. It's just trying to portray a story and connect really well with all the viewers' senses. And then Boss Baby is a comedy with like 3D graphics and like mediocre story, and it's like, are you serious, dude? Like, this is going up against it because like it was backed by like a huge production company, like an American company,
Exactly.
and like if it was nominated for like a comedic animation or something, I could get it, but like it's along with like Your Name, dude. It's like they're two completely different stories.
Exactly.
You can't even compare the two.
Yeah, it's just like I said earlier in the past episode. You need to separate 3D animation and 2D animation because it's it's just two different. It's still animation, but it's still two different type of animations. I have to say, it went against the Boss Baby.
Okay, good. At least.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh, it's very embarrassing because right now, I mean, this film, it's almost a masterpiece. I think I can aside with Silent Voice, because I like a Silent Voice better, but Your Name is also on that top of the list.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I cried more at A Silent Voice than Your Name.
Your Name, exactly. Yeah, I mean, me too. But Your Name is more of a love story, and
yeah,
we see this guy trying to get this girl, and the journey with his two friends, right? I think.
Yeah, he's got two guy friends.
Yeah.
Like, they're not that significant. Like, they help him a bit.
They help him
like,
just to travel.
But yeah, but he doesn't really tell them like what's up because they won't understand. But yeah, no, it's really like just the two protagonists. Like, the story is all about them, and like like we learn a little bit more about like the girl's family members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mostly because it's necessary for the plot to like talk about like, oh, like this is what the temple does, and like what the priests are in charge of, and like why it's important to do the ritual, and why she doesn't want to do it, and blah blah blah, some other stuff. So yeah, but it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
nonetheless, no matter
the music,
what people say.
Yeah,
now what's interesting about this movie, I don't know if you heard, but the creator of the movie, he actually wanted to renounce the movie, or like not renounce the movie. He wanted people to stop talking about it. He was hoping it would not blow up.
Oh,
and
wow.
It blew up, and the reason he didn't want it to blow up is because he feels like it wasn't as good as he wanted it to be.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, I think like every director has that kind of feeling. I mean, I also felt like that once. Like, I do a film, but then I will not as satisfied. So I just, I just don't want anyone, like a lot of people, to watch my film because this is not my full potential of making films. That's how it feels.
Yeah, so, I mean, like it's hard because I get it completely. And I have, I've learned to deal with it, especially like working with other people.
Mm-hmm.
That like, at the end of the day, what you did even if it's not like perfect, sometimes you just need to release it because you did work hard on it, even if it wasn't exactly your vision.
Correct. Yeah.
Because like your name might have not been his vision, but it was so fantastic, so
It
many
is,
people
yeah.
loved it, and that's a true testament of like how skilled and how like gifted these people are that worked on the movie and the story.
The story, the animation, the music, the art. What else? The voice acting, because the voice acting just like it felt like freaking real people on screen. I just don't get the Oscars today. It's just, oh my gosh. I really.
So
it's controversy and all that. It's just getting me really mad. Like, okay, so these Japanese people, they bust their ass, like mostly every year, to make these animated films that they're not computerized, they're not 3D, they're not Pixar. It doesn't matter if it's not Disney. It's just the art, the passion that they have with these kinds of films and what story they want to portray on screen. That's what matters. And I really do feel very, very bad for these Japanese people. Like, they still get awards, but getting an Oscar is something very, it's on top of the list type of thing. Like, Miyazaki has won a couple of them, but of course Disney was there. I guess Miyazaki got tired of that shit. So
it's like you can't rely on Disney all the time. It's
it's
and like Disney definitely had a pull on it because like the whole Oscars things, like they're super transparent about it. It's all about like actually like advertising it to the vote on like the Oscars, and then
it's more like okay, the ones that's making more money is Disney, so you guys back off and eat it up. Suck it up. So Disney wins because it makes more money.
That is surprising that your name won this one because even like the director, he wasn't happy with the movie. He didn't want it to win, and it still won.
Yeah, indeed.
Like, I don't remember if he didn't show up for it or something, because I might be thinking of someone else that like they decided not to show up to receive their award because they're like,
Miyazaki has done that before. So yeah, these kinds of directors, they just don't like to show up on these awards. I mean, I kind of do get them, because sometimes you're just there waiting for an award and they just don't give it to you. You get nominated and all that, but yeah, you're there sitting there applaud, just waiting for the other one to get the award, and you just got nominated. Sometimes you just feel that your film is good and it's fantastic and it's a masterpiece, but a director always thinks, a good director and humble director will think that other type of films are great, better than mine. They think that kind of vision of that kind of, that kind of feeling that not all my films are going to win or going to be the best, because there are other people with more talent, more talent than my studio, than me. So those kinds of things might happen to these kinds of directors' mind and all that. But yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Your Name is a fantastic film. I wish there is more. These studios make more films of these, because we need more of this. We like action. We like blood. we like all the kinds of stuff, but we need something that like this. Slice of life. Romance, good romance, not cliche. Good story.
Moving stories.
Exactly. A good story that we can relate and the characters that we can relate, and Your Name is those kinds of films. So, man, Your Name, I mean, it's 10 out of 10 for me, man. For me,
Yeah,
it's,
no.
I mean, better than
For me.
Boss Baby.
Well, yeah, clearly.
Most definitely.
I mean, so I don't know if I give Your Name a perfect 10 because, like, again, like I feel like, you know, after what's his name, the director said those comments, I'm like, okay, I get what he means, like how it could be better
Yeah, of
parts,
course.
but it's like it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like if not a 10, it's like a 9. You know?
Yeah, high 9. High 9. A high
Yeah.
9, like 9.5.
Round it up to 10.
Alright, guys. So, fully recommended. Please don't miss this film. If you're like me that has a lot of anime to watch, have a time to watch these kinds of films, because these kinds of films have this, this kinds of feelings that might move your heart, might inspire you. So yeah, guys, this will be it. Thank you for watching Fyxshion Reydiou. This has been Zyber,
And this has been Shinja.
and we'll see you guys later.